Well, a very warm welcome to the February edition of our 2025 Market Wrap. Let's give you a bit of an insight into what took place over the last 30 days. A lot of real estate news in the last month, but let's get into the nuts and bolts of the auction clearance rates. There was 1,932 auctions scheduled. Of those auctions, 1,785 of those properties actually sold, with 1,352 of those properties selling at auction. Now, 354 of those properties were actually passed in and haven't yet sold, and 426 of those properties were sold prior to auction. Now, agents typically do that for one of two reasons. Number one, there is a buyer that is head and shoulders above others in terms of the number offered. The second reason, which is a little bit more prevalent at the moment, is that there is one buyer actually wanting to buy the property and there wouldn't be competition by going through to auction. The average auction clearance rate throughout the month of February, Melbourne-wide, was 78%. Buxton and Bentleigh ran at a 92% auction clearance rate. There's a big reason for that. We are the only agency, and this is very, very important, we are the only agency that does not underquote. Whatever you want, or whatever the value of the property is exactly what we tell the buying public. So that's the reason why our auction clearance rate is slightly above the median average for Melbourne, because we're actually being honest with the consumers. Funny that. Now, February was a highly eventful month in terms of real estate news. The much anticipated and much awaited cash rate cut came in February. The cash rate now from 4.35% to 4.1% has been passed on by all four big banks. The question I get asked all the time, Simon, what's going to happen with the property market this year? And I did a little survey on my Instagram the other day as to what the consumer thought might happen now that the rate cut has come. From an agent's perspective, depending on what happens over the next couple of months, whether or not we see another 1, 2, 3 or 4 rate cuts this year will be very, very dependent on what happens with the property market in 2025. The rate cut that we did have, we have noticed two things. Buyer confidence is certainly well and truly up. Last weekend just gone, we had 3, 4, 5, 6 bidders at some of our auctions, which has not happened for a very, very long time. The second thing is it will increase people's borrowing capacity, meaning people can borrow more money from the banks because the cash rate is cheaper. The third thing that's happening is it's relieving of some pressure. Those of you who are watching these videos that have mortgages, that have home loans, the rate cut will be insignificant for most people in terms of what it actually saves you per month. We do need to see a few rate cuts this year in order for the real estate market to see any form of uptick in terms of price growth. Now, with all of that news, as I mentioned, we have seen a massive upshot in confidence from buyers, and last weekend's auction results, we sold 8 out of 10. Most of those auctions had multiple bidders fighting well and truly above reserve. But let's give you a bit of an insight into what the top 5 sales out of our office were for the month of February. At the top of the charts was a property that I sold at number 16A Bundeera Road in Caulfield South. I actually sold that development site to my vendor some 7 or 8 years ago, and he put 2 townhouses on that property. Quote price, 2 to 2.2 million. It was a 4-bed, 3-bath townhouse on 345 square metres, and that sold prior to auction for $2,150,000. Next was number 39 Castlewood Street in Bentleigh East, a 5-bedroom family home on 603 square metres of land, and that property sold for $1.76 million. Next was number 2B Tovan Arcus Avenue in Bentleigh, a townhouse, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms on 302 square metres, and that property transacted for $1.6 million. Next was number 12B Windsor Avenue. That was a townhouse, an older style townhouse, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms with 2 garages, and that property sold for $1,575,000. And last but certainly not least was number 37A Brosnan Road in Bentleigh East, another townhouse, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 311 square metres, selling for $1.49 million. So looking to the future, ladies and gentlemen, we certainly see a more buoyant real estate market across 2025. We're hoping for a few more rate cuts. We haven't seen a massive influx of stock coming onto the market. Yes, there's more than has been over the last 12 to 18 months, but certainly not enough to meet demand. So if you're looking to potentially sell into a seller's market, this is the time to be doing it. I look forward to seeing you at our March market wrap.